January 14, 2026. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. So this is pretty much what the chart looked like today. There was a few more setups than certainly it's I think a little bit easier to find setups today. Although I didn't find that many, there were more than previous. Looks like it was a big leg down, some choppiness, sideways consolidation in this area, and then a move up. This is how I took two trades today, right here and here. They're both profitable, and then this is how I drew up the charts. So it looks a little messy because it was kind of messy. And most of the time, I think we're like a lot of these small legs and reversals, some consolidation areas. There's only, I think, one time around 5:30 Pacific Standard, about right here, which was the economic data of the core PPI, some retail sales. And then I did know that right here, where I marked it as Supreme Court announced that they weren't going to make a decision on the tariffs, it caused this really gigantic candle right here. So I'm going to go into the trades right now in my setups. This candle right here. So I guess this was news, but this was unexpected because it came at an odd time, right around 7 o'clock, 7:11 a.m. Pacific Standard. So you couldn't have predicted that. So price action was, I will say it wasn't hard, but it was definitely easier. It wasn't super easy, but it was more easier because I found more setups. And unlike the last few days, it didn't feel quite as grinding. No, it doesn't say that it was like fantastic, but it was just night and day, just a little bit better. So in the pre-market, it starts moving down. And so we had like the highs, all-time highs the last couple of days. So it moves down, looks like it was moving down this yellow down channel. And I'm gonna try to go through this quickly. So it goes down, it looks like it might be in this yellow down channel. It has a sideways consolidation on the open, pushes up, flushes down. You have the second entry long here. It's a bad signal bar because the inside bar pushes up in this orange up channel, break, and then it looks like a spike in a downward channel. So there's no hope of it testing the highs now. Pushes all the way down, break. There's no setup here, but it's a kind of even EMA rejection, break of the green down channel, test the low. At one time I was thinking as it played out, was it something like this? But it didn't really look that clean. So this doesn't really look like it's part of this channel, but it was a downward bearish sell-off. It's the localized low and the low of day, creates a first entry short, pullback, creates a second entry short. I marked this because in real time, I really thought about, so as what I'm seeing in real time, I'm thinking, wow, this is a strong rejection and reversal. Is there a possible trade here? But there's no way to justify this. You do need a break below this, but this is the first break above the EMA, and break of this orange up channel has tested the high, kind of drifted since then. It's flushing back down. If it breaks below this red one, I still want a lower high below the EMA. So you don't get that. So right here, when it reverses like this is technically inside this red bar, and this red bar is inside the range of this green bar. So any kind of thought of taking a trade, I've abandoned now because I don't like when it stalls like this. Plus, it closes opposite to this guy. So it looked like there was some buyers that pushed it back up. So it does flush down, but again, this isn't in real time. It's hard to really know that this is going to happen. So there's nothing here. Prices, you do technically have a lower high here, but I'm not a big fan of this because it just feels a little congested. I'm sitting on my hands now waiting for a better setup, waiting for something more, I guess, obvious to me that I can kind of tell which way it's going to go. Prices then continue moving down. Flushes, there was EMA rejection here. Unfortunately, there was no setup. Hits the low side. I end up drawing this as a potential channel, but as you can see, even then I never colored it in because I don't really trust it. This really is one touch, two touch, three touch confirmation. Low side's a little bit hard to tell, so I wouldn't be taking a long off of anything here, especially when the overall bias is going downwards. So it's a bearish sell-off. So you're looking for reasons to go short, not reasons to just take a long, because it's hard to know that this is reversing just yet. So it does hit localized low, say first entry short. Technically, I have a second entry short here, but there's no setup, no trade because the inside bar. Looks like it's a sideways range consolidation. It starts pressing up. I drew this trend line, and to be honest, I had it really tight like this initially. So I was thinking this might be a range that we're playing in, and it could bounce and reject off this trend line that I had established, and I never colored it in as a channel because I don't really think it's a clean channel. but potentially have some kind of rejection here. And I was looking for a short, but it kind of comes up, hits here. Now I'm watching this carefully because it could be a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long potential failure. But then I don't like that this inside bar starts pushing down. So you do technically have first entry long, second entry long, lower high, but the EMA is a little ambiguous. It is acting as some kind of resistance. So here it's not acting as resistance, it's kind of a support, but I'm also running into the issue of this trend line coming down. But as it goes, this is when the tariff, the Supreme Court news came out that they weren't going to make a decision on the tariff today because they were expecting a decision on whether the tariffs were legal or not in the next couple of days. And I think it was supposed to come out even the day before, but they punted it and they did the same thing today. So it caused this big spike up. So this is actually news about no news. Flushes up. So now I'm just like, okay, I need this to calm down. I'm definitely not going to try to trade this because this could just, you could just get chopped to pieces. This candle here is 10.25 points. This is huge. Prices continue moving up. Break of this orange up channel, test the high, comes back down, new high. First entry long pullback, second entry long. I call this an almost trade because I want an EMA touch. Unfortunately, we don't get that. Pushes, looking for a higher low now because first entry long, second entry long, looking for a higher low confirmation that prices will continue moving up. You kind of have a higher low here, but again, it's followed by inside bar plus this higher low is a red candle. Flushes down. Again, now I'm just sitting on my hands waiting for more price action to play out. I did consider that maybe there's some kind of channel here, but this channel, it looks really large, kind of shallow, not, I don't feel very confident in it. Breaks out the low side of this one, I thought it might have been a channel, but when this broke out so high, I thought, could this actually be the channel? But then this channel itself doesn't look correct because there's so much white space, so much empty space. So this, if it was a channel, was only maybe valid down here, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete it for now because it didn't serve any purpose. Prices move down and this red down channel hits a sideways consolidation. Break, potential fail breakout. Move back into range, pushes up, it's a new low. Technically you have a first entry short, second entry short, but if you do a more visual count, it looks like it's a first entry short, pull back. Technically a second entry short here. It's a terrible signal bar though, above the EMA. I'm not the biggest fan. It touches right at the EMA. Then it gives you this lower high. Unfortunately, this lower high is a doji. It engulfs this guy, and since the doji closes right at the EMA, I called an almost trade. I don't really like this. You don't know that this is going to flush down though. Prices then continue moving down. I'm looking to the left, and it looks like it's overall a bearish day. Sell off, sideways, sell off, kind of a recovery, then one leg down, pull back, second leg down. I have no idea if this is all played out yet because it does look like an orange channel break, test the low. Starts consolidating. Looks like it might start reversing. It was a first entry short, pull back. You technically have a second entry short here, confirmed. But when I saw this, I thought, okay, break of the green up channel, might want to test the high. So this is a second entry short, break of the EMA. I'm not ready to take this trade. It's bad signal bar. Pushes back up. Potential lower high, but it's the same, making a double matching top. Bad signal bar. Looks like it's ranging now. Pushes up, and actually this sets up for, I thought was a possible trade. So I'm thinking we're in a trading range. This green up channel is broken, tested once, tested twice to test the high. Doji followed by a decisive push down. So technically this red candle engulfs this guy. This red candle itself is only 8 ticks. Triple test, good signal bar, enough room to scalp out. So I thought this is a possible trade. It would have worked for 1 point scalp. And it pushes, and then this actually sets up for my first trade. I think we're in a range, so I'm playing range rules. I'm thinking now, this looks like it's one leg down, pull back, a second leg down. I had this preliminarily drawn, thinking like there's these two big legs down. It looks like it's made a measure move here. Break of this orange down channel is played out. Pushing back up, looks like it's break, 2 attempts, pull back. Looks like I was thinking there's going to be one leg up sideways and then a second leg up. So in my thought process, I saw first entry long, pullback, potential second entry long here. It engulfs, so it technically has made a second entry long triple test. I enter this trade because I knew the high or resistance here was roughly at this range, top of the range here. So I thought there was enough room for 1 point scalp. It's a little hard to see. It happened very quickly. I entered on this blue candle, quickly got the 1 point scalp, moved my runner from below this guy 1 point above break even, and unfortunately gets stopped out. So it's a little hard to see. There's a little purple candle here. That's my bulk of the trades, and then the runner got stopped out. Then prices continue moving. Creates this failed second entry short. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So I saw this failed second entry short, and I thought could this also be a potential breakout pullback? There's a new low, first entry short pullback, second entry short, second entry short. In real time, I like the close. I like that it's bouncing off the EMA. I like that this top of the range had 3 attempts right here to try to make a new high. This one was successful, but it pulled back. But then this one's negating the efforts of this guy by pushing back all the way. So I thought there's a possible trade here. But I also knew I just came off of this winning trade. So I was a little suspicious on whether I was seeing this accurately or I was just inventing a trade because I was running off the high of this winning trade. So I knew since I just got a trade, I need to sit back, calm down a little bit, because this setup and then this setup are only less than 10 minutes apart. So I'm thinking I could just be seeing things for the sake of wanting to, ride this winning streak. Well, not really a winning streak, but just this one trade that I took. So it's hardly a streak. Pushes up, break of the green up channel, test the high, kind of hits the high. It's a first entry long pullback. Second entry long gives you a lower high here. I actually thought this was a possible trade as well. Thought it was a little more aggressive though. Because the break of this orange down channel needs to test the low. I like that it ticked above this very strong hammer candle. So it ticked above. So it looks like buyers are trying to push it back up. This one opens, follows through, but it looks like the EMA is rejecting. I was thinking break this orange down channel does have to test the low. There's just enough for 1 point scalp, but it's very aggressive though, because there could be a little bit of a support area right here. But I thought it might have been a possible trade because I'm expecting it pushed down. In this case, it would have worked. Prices moved down on this orange down channel, another small break, pushed down. Now it's a decisive break and has tested the low decisively. It's a sideways consolidation, pushes up. Looks like it's one leg pullback, second leg. A little hard to try to take any trade right now because I'm not super certain that this is reversing just yet. Starts moving up. I drew this transparent up channel, but there's no real safe, in my opinion, second entries. You could say there's a localized low, first entry short pullback, second entry short, but this one is kind of be selling into the EMA, which, I mean, it's not as ambiguous as it has been other days and not as, I guess, useless. Today, it could come in as a factor. So I just left it alone. Pushes down, hits this low side. So I'm thinking, okay, if I'm not in a range, I do believe at least there's some kind of support area here. So localized high, first entry long pullback, second entry long bad signal bar. But if you're playing range rules, this could be at the bottom of the range, except it's a bad signal bar. Pushes to the high, comes back down, pushes to the low. So I'm liking this as a possible range now. I'm thinking, okay, clearly we're in a range. I'm going to look for reasons to go long or reasons to go short. Those pushes, technically a first entry long pullback. You have a second entry long here, inside bar, a little inconclusive because it's push up strongly, push down strongly, and then push up again. But as you can see, each subsequent candle is smaller than the previous. So this red one's smaller than this green one one's smaller than this red one. So it almost looks like it's wedging. So that could mean it's either going to break up or down. I don't really like this setup yet. If it confirms second entry long, even though you're playing range rules, doesn't hurt. You have a potential higher low, pushes up, hits the top side, triple test. So clearly I'm in a good range. I like this strong pushback down. Hits the low side, bounces. Let's say first entry long pullback. It gives you the second entry long. You already have a triple test. So I call this a multiple test. I thought, okay, there's a possible trade here. I like the bounce off the bottom. Pushes up, comes back up to the high side. So this is a possible trade that I think was worth taking, but unfortunately I did not. Clearly, we're in a pretty strong, defined range. New high, first entry long pullback, second entry long. This is an almost trade, but I really didn't mark it. I saw it in real time. I thought, man, this. I like this setup. Unfortunately, the major drawback for it is this top of the range, which has been rejected before. Break of the orange up channel has tested the high, made a second attempt, so this could easily reverse. And I don't want to be buying into the high of this range. But I marked it because I did think about it and was tempted to take it, but I think it would have not followed all the rules, so I just left it out. Right, so then push up creates a fail breakout of this range, pushes strongly all the way back down. Here, this is where I take my second trade. So I'm expecting a push of prices all the way back down to here and to give me a symmetrical fail breakout on this side. Looks like it's one leg down, break. Technically, it's tested low, made one attempt, pull back, created a second attempt up right here, and then flushed and closed really strongly. So what happened was when this pushed down and closed, I quickly dropped my order in. It's hard to see. There's a little purple triangle. That's my entry short at the lows of this candle because I expected at least a 1 point scalp down to here, and I thought it would have been safe enough. It pushes down. I move my stop from above this candle to one tick below my entry, and I get stopped out. So I'm okay with this trade. In hindsight, knowing that there's a strong support here, I think I should have just taken the entire position off because it already had broken the orange down channel, tested the low. So it would have been better just to take that last contract and get full profits instead of trying to hope for a break and continuation downwards when clearly things look like they were bottoming out. So I got stopped out my runner. It starts reversing, and now it's going back up the high side. So now when it pushes this high, I don't think there's going to be a fail breakout here. But I wasn't really ready to change my range to include this to negate the fail breakout. So I still kept it down here. Pushing, break, test the high. So it's first entry short, pull back, technically have a second entry short here, not a good signal bar. You don't really get a higher low or anything safe. Now it already tested the high of this red up channel. I'm just sitting and waiting now. And I move sideways. Now it moves up this very shallow looking yellow up channel. There are second entries in here per the count, and a lot of them, though, it did give me a little bit of pause because if you look at the timestamp and how long this took to play out, this is 30 minutes trading. This is pretty much moved from 69.45, 69.39, and back to 69.46, but 45-ish. So in 30 minutes, it really didn't go anywhere. It just kind of spanned roughly 6 to 7 points, and these are just really tight. So I'm not a big fan of trying to jump in on a trade here. Bounces and continues, so I'm thinking, okay, this yellow up channel is worthy to be colored in. So it's new high, first entry long, but it makes a double top. Technically, I have a second entry long here, but it's a bad signal bar. Starts pushing. It gives you a lower high here because you have localized low, first entry short pullback, second entry short, broke above this potential support area. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for now. But it broke and touched rejection off this orange yellow up channel high. It creates a lower high. I just didn't like the signal bar on this lower high. This is a lower high, but it closed a little bit too neutral for me. It needs to close lower for me to trust it. It does push down. Break of this yellow down channel starts to reverse back up. It's a fail breakout here. I'm expecting a potential fail breakout on this side, but it doesn't. And it looks like it's still obeying inside this yellow up channel. It does give you a second entry long, which I thought was also another possible trade. So it's a fail breakout here. I'm expecting potentially a fail breakout here, similar to what I thought was going to happen here. When this one broke, rejected, and recovered all the way back up, now I thought, okay, yeah, clearly there's not going to be no fail breakout here. But this guy broke. Looks like it's going to make another attempt up. So support on this side. I saw first entry long pullback, second entry long bounce off the EMA kind of, but bounce off the yellow up channel support with a good signal bar. Thought it was a possible trade. Would have worked. Pushes up. I drew this transparent one, but I don't really trust it as anything. It was more because I thought there was a trend line here. So clearly there's some kind of support being respected here. It's a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long, almost trade here because the inside of this guy does touch off the EMA, but it never broke above this guy, so I can't take it. It starts pushing back down. Bounce off this yellow up channel support again. So this is a weird looking channel. Up until this point here, it's a reliable channel, but now further out, I don't really trust this extension of this yellow up channel now because there's too much break here, too much break here. In real time, I was thinking, okay, maybe the channel I'm playing is this. But then as prices kept moving, I went ahead and just brought it back down because it was important for me to see this, and then over here kind of falls apart. So I didn't try to make this future price action match my existing channel. So I didn't try to extend this channel and try to make things fit because then it just doesn't look right. And it didn't really add any real setups for me. Well, I do say though, there is a new high visual first entry long pullback. Second entry long, I just didn't like the signal bar. There's a higher low here, but I just kind of skipped it. Prices move up, sideways consolidation, new high, first entry long pullback. Technically, you have second entry long here. And then this actually enters the last 30 minutes a day. So I wouldn't be taking any new trades or any opening trades over here. And I was just watching. But as it kind of pushes into the close, it's nothing to really, in my opinion, hunt for, especially if you're already profitable for the day. So I was already up two trades, one here and one here. I wasn't going to try to risk taking another setup, even if a setup did present itself, let's say in the last 20 minutes or even last 30 minutes, let's say right about at this cutoff point. If it sets up, I'm reluctant to take a trade, especially if I'm already up for the day, because why risk giving back any of my profits in hopes of I just get one more trade in, because I can always just trade the next day. So I don't know what's happening here, but it looks like it's some sell-off, this big candle. I'm not really sure what's going on. So it's kind of how I saw the charts today. Hopefully that was helpful.